Welcome to Caravan of GLAM Presents on KPQR LP Portland, Wild Planet Radio.
Hey, it is Justin with the Caravan of GLAM Presents. We don't know what day it is, but we are in the studio with Don Newton.
Hey, everybody.
And our guest host this week, Danny Ward.
Hello, you.
We're going to raise the roof, right, Danny?
I'm raising the roof right now as we
She
speak.
is.
You can't see her, but she is.
I'm raising it.
All right.
And I have my snacks and I'm ready to go, so
We'll be right back.
let's do it.
Hey, this is Patrick from Eastside Strength and Performance. You are tuning in to the Caravan of GLAM Presents on KPQR 99.1 FM or streaming live on wildplanetradio.com.
Hey everyone, this is Justin with Wild Planet Radio and the Caravan of GLAM Presents. Don't forget to connect with us. Facebook, Wild Planet Radio, Twitter, at Wild Planet Radio, Instagram, Wild Planet Radio, and of course, hashtag Wild Planet Radio. Tell your friends, share the news of WPR on social media, and stream us 24/7 at wildplanetradio.com.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is a Caravan of GLAM Presents.
On Wild Planet Radio, I am J-Boo. We are in the studio with Don Newton. Our special guest host this week is Portland Idol 2014 winner, Danny Ward.
Woo!
And Portland Idol 2016 winner, Pablo Gonzalez. Hey.
It's a club. We should say that the winner from last year, Jeff True Jones, he moved away. That's why he is not here this season.
Why we need to bring him?
Well, I mean, because we went from 2014 to 2016. People
What
might
happened
want
to
to know.
15? Did we just, is it like every 2 years?
He's living a rock
Wait.
star life.
I know, but
Who
is it
was
every 2 years?
2015?
Or is
It
it?
was Jeff. Last
Oh,
year.
yeah, because 2016. Okay.
Jeff
Whew.
True Jones.
Well, maybe people thought it just happens on even years and not.
He's a trip for sure.
He's a great guy.
Okay, so
Great
speaking
boy.
of idols, who's your idol, Justin? Who do you?
Well,
we already know one.
Brittany. Wait, are we talking like business idols?
It could be any of them.
Okay, I will say that I do admire Ryan Seacrest because he basically came from just a normal family and now look at what he's done. Idol.
He's built an empire for sure.
He's built an empire.
Isn't he the
Yeah.
reason the Kardashians are the Kardashians?
And he's
Oh,
he's
a
only
lot
like
of those.
39.
Yeah.
So I admire like people that just bust their butt and work really, really, really hard.
Yep, me too.
Dolly Parton,
Yes.
who grew up in a shack, a one-room shack with like 9 brothers and sisters and her mom
In
and
the
dad,
holla.
with no water, no electricity, and now she's worth like $500 million.
And still is such a
And
sweet
still
person.
down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyone that works really, really, really hard and is self-made, I admire.
So they could
I'm
be a
with you
total
there.
tool as long
No.
as they worked hard.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, building yourself and building an empire and like coming from nothing,
I guess you can't really be a tool.
you can.
Well, yeah, there's several that are.
I mean, Kris Jenner, not that I think she's a cool person, but she has a great business mind. She knows exactly how to use her children to make millions of dollars, which, I'm not saying that's cool, but she has a good business mind.
She knows what to do.
Business-minded
Yeah.
people that work really hard are like super inspirational to me.
I like Tony Robbins.
Tony Robb, he has the teeth, right? Chiclet teeth?
He's real tall, real
Yeah.
tall. Yeah.
Sure.
Susan Sarandon's ex?
No.
that's
No,
Tim.
that's Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins.
Yeah, Tony Robbins. He's getting in trouble because he had people walk on fire and they were burning their feet because they were taking selfies of themselves.
Yes.
But I just love his mindset and how he doesn't look at himself as a guru, even though people look at him like he is. But
Wait, what does he do? Motivational
he's just
speaker?
he doesn't want to call himself that. It's more not even a coach.
Is it like a spiritual healer?
He talks about money, about living the life that you want, getting out of your own way, because he came from nothing, literally nothing, and he was overweight and his family life was not good. He left home early and he just read tons and tons of books. Knowledge is power, and he studies people that have aided in the industry. Like, go to the greatest minds, whatever it is you want to do, get in that mind of someone that's done it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm with Justin on that. I admire people that, not necessarily maybe I admire how they got where they are, but it's like, what did you do? But as far as entertainers and stuff, there's a lot of people that I love. Historical people. I don't know, Millie Evers Williams.
Life-changing
People that are just like, wow, have the opportunity to walk in their shoes, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I also love people that don't give a
Beep.
beep.
I love Adele. I love how she just doesn't care.
She's so crass, and I love it. I have an Adele story that we will save for next time, but I'm just saying she is amazing, and I met her once.
Where?
You know, after her show.
So is she one of your idols?
You know, I take credit for Adele making it to the Pacific Northwest. People laugh at this, but I found her on MySpace, so 12 years ago, 13 years ago, maybe even longer than that. And she had just a bunch of really rough demos. And I went and bought a pack of like 100 CDs. And I burned this 4-song demo and gave it to everybody. Sent it to people, gave it to everybody that would listen. And then she came to town and the radio station had given away her tickets because nobody knew who she was. So Courtney and I were there in the front like, woo! And she knew who we were. And we used to chat on MySpace. So yes, I would consider her an idol because her voice, because I like to stand and sing. I wouldn't call myself necessarily an entertainer more than a singer. And
You're a vocalist.
I'm a vocalist, and she can stand and sing and still create a vibe in a room without really trying.
So she's still the same Adele then that we see today?
Mm-hmm. She's hilarious. She's so crass.
Oh, she's hilarious.
She doesn't care. She's confident, which I just really love because you don't see that very often, especially with famous women.
Right. Is there any other famous women that you idolize as far as musicians, vocalists?
Sia's my idol. Like,
Sia, yeah.
all-time favorite everything.
Beyonce?
I do love Beyonce. You want to hear my Beyonce story?
I know, you met her.
I did. We got to have a fish fry at my relative's house in Houston. It was Destiny's Child, so it was when it was the 5 of them and before the Destiny's Child album was released. My uncle's stepbrother is her uncle, and so we all met. But of course, nobody knew who she was, really, because I didn't know who she was because it hadn't been released yet. But so I was just hanging out with Beyonce and Kelly and Michelle, and I think her name Latoya.
Was Solange there?
You know, I don't remember.
Basement
she would have
Baby.
been really young. Oh my god! But everybody was really nice.
Kimbo Slice.
So what was Beyonce like then?
Sweet, quiet, very just down to earth. Very, you know, they were from Houston and very proud of their blackness and where they're from, and very sweet, normal people.
Do you think her and Jay-Z, that relationship is authentic?
You know what? I do. Because one, I don't think Beyonce would stay anywhere that wasn't working for her.
I would hope not.
But also, I mean, like everybody's freaking out about the Lemonade album, which is excellent, but he is doing an album to counter that. And I hate you, Justin.
Read it.
Okay, I will. Out loud?
Basement Baby. A deranged relative of a celebrity kept under locks by said celebrity's family and agents. See Solange Knowles. See Solange Knowles for an example.
Oh my gosh.
She beats the crap out of people.
I mean, she doesn't mess around.
She went after Jay-Z.
You don't mess with somebody's family.
Well, Beyonce just sat in the corner.
She was like fixing her makeup. And
she was texting just like Justin. She had the Justin pose with the phone.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, who knows? You never know what happens behind closed doors, but he is the reason she released that album. He's coming up with a response to the album, and he's involved. So, like, I don't think it's as intense as ever. I think they know exactly how to make money.
Oh, yeah.
They know exactly.
Machine.
Yes. Then and it works. And I mean, they have more money than
they need.
Do you think she was really pregnant?
I do think she was really pregnant. Didn't you see her cute little belly when she was at the awards? And
did you see her cute little belly when she sat down in Australia?
And it deflated during the interview. Her whole belly, like, it deflated.
I looked at that and did not see it nearly as everybody else did.
Ooh, I'm like, I know when I was pregnant, that belly went nowhere. It was rock hard.
Okay, now I have to pull it.
You're gonna have to look at it, but which I don't understand why she would have done that if that wasn't real.
Why would ruin her body?
I mean, why wouldn't you just say?
Well, and her body is different too. Like, she's thicker through.
Well, and if she wanted a surrogate, we don't care.
Well, and I don't think she. Well, and she said, if I was going to adopt or use a surrogate, why wouldn't I say that? Like, I would be happy.
Because the Illuminati needs a blood sacrifice. You guys.
It's true.
All of y'all with
Someone
that
had to say it.
Illuminati mess.
So, anyways,
Yes, I think she was truly pregnant. That baby looks just like them.
looks
I mean,
like him. Anyways,
Let me
it's
pull up
okay.
a meme.
Justin and his memes. Go find the video of them pregnant in Australia.
Yeah, you need to show
her
him.
pregnant in Australia.
Yeah. You need to see that. So,
He's like, I'm here.
Pablo, what about your idols?
Honestly, I think the Portland queer community has been my idol ever since I moved here. There's been so much star power here. You guys, there's a face swap with Beyonce and Jay-Z. Just look.
Lifetime presents the Blue Ivy story.
For a second, I was like, ooh, that baby ugly. That's
Oh my God.
she's so cute. Okay.
Back to Pablo.
This is not about you, Justin.
No, I think a lot of the performers here in Portland, there's definitely a lot of star power, and some people are completely just so entrancing and amazing. And Portland's such a little big town that you actually end up running into a lot. I mean, I personally fangirl all the time, and then before I know it, I'm like working side by side with these people, either performing next to them. But I think it's cool. I think like Portland definitely gives the opportunity for artists to work, and I think they work super hard. And
Have you ever had a run-in or met an idol?
I'm notorious for fangirling after the fact. So there's the house where I live in. Shanti Darling used to live in, and he used to be part of this band called Magic Mouth. So after he moved out, I found this old vinyl that his band recorded, and I listened to it, and I fell completely in love with them. And they're one of my favorite Portland bands now. And he used to live in my house. He's good friends with the same group of circle of friends that I run in. But my ultimate favorite Portland band is a band called Y La Bamba, with a front woman named Lucelena Mendoza. And I was listening to them long before I moved to Portland, but I ran into her at Buffalo Exchange, and I freaked out. I've never been so embarrassed in my life. I fangirled so much. She didn't know what to do. I shook with my left hand, like everything awkward that could happen happened. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Portland has star power. You're my idols, you guys.
Portland.
And I'm honored to be Portland Idol myself. And
Wait,
amongst
you're
you
a
guys.
Portland Idol?
Hi, you guys. Portland Idol 2016 with Wild Planet Radio.
All right. With that note, we're going to take a break. Caravan of Glam presents here on Wild Planet Radio. Myself,
J-Bo.
Danny Ward, and Pablo Gonzalez.
Portland Idol 2016.
We'll be right back.
Pablo's Rock Hard Lemonade.
Okay, so it's that time for Flashback Friday.
Flashback Friday.
You need a song for Flashback Friday. Flashback.
Well, maybe
record one.
Well, yeah. Why don't you record one for us, Danny?
Okay.
That's part of being part of the group now.
Yeah.
Oh, now that I'm adopted.
Now you have to
can record
contribute.
one. When we're done with Tammy, you can record one.
There we go.
Because we'll have, I don't know, maybe.
So we're doing Flashback Friday with Tammy Brown, who's here in
It's not about them, it's about Tammy Brown right now.
It is about Tammy Brown. And you're going to administer
The test.
the test.
The test.
Okay.
This is Rapid Fire Q&A with Danny Ward. Our guest here is Tammy Brown, which we already knew that. I just had to fill in the blanks. All right, I'm going to ask you questions, and you're going to, the first thing that comes to your mind. Favorite song?
Proud Mary,
Favorite person, dead or alive?
Amanda Lear,
Favorite city?
San Francisco.
If you could visit anywhere in the world that you haven't been, where would it be?
I want to go to Africa.
Favorite actor?
Betty Davis.
Least favorite food?
McDonald's.
Oh, don't we know it? Least favorite historical figure?
Jackson, racist white devil. Andrew Jackson.
Boy, bye.
He knows his history.
I also love that he actually is doing the game right, because we definitely did not do that properly. If you could have dinner with one dead celebrity, who would it be?
Joan Crawford.
Best advice you've ever been given, and by who?
My grandmother wrote, best advice? Oh, she just had fun, witty things to say. She also said, like, if you're, saying that someone is crazy or dumb or something, well, it's just a reflection of yourself because you're hanging out with them.
Boom. Thanks, Grandma.
Bloop.
Yep.
Your biggest fear?
Drowning.
Biggest pet peeve?
Ooh.
Where do I start?
I don't know. I can't think of that one. Pass.
Okay. Well, if you could be any Disney princess or prince, who would it be?
I think it would have to be Little Mermaid.
We're like twins. If you could have any this is the last question. Mm-hmm. If you can have any superpower, what would it be?
Silence.
That's my favorite thing. Oh, I love silence.
There's a song about it. Like, here it goes.
And that was your Flashback Friday with Tammy Brown.
Flashback.
Here on the Caravan of Glam Presents on Wild Planet Radio. We'll be right back. Okay, we're talking about Peter Asio. I love that last name. Peter, you are a makeup artist.
Yes.
You've got quite a history. Mm-hmm. Your credentials. Give us a quick rundown of your credentials.
Credentials. I started doing makeup on my own back in 2009. I did a few shows at OSU just as a makeup artist for their Moms Weekend fashion show. And then from there, I moved up to Portland and worked for MAC Cosmetics for about 2 years. And then I spent a year with Anastasia Beverly Hills, just traveling around Portland, doing brows. And then from there, went with Tarte. And for the last year, I was with Tarte, again, just running around Portland, doing makeup for Tarte.
Speaking of brows, because you just did mine, which are fabulous. I love having somebody, your own personal makeup artist, to do stuff for you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Why are brows such a challenge? What are we doing wrong? What was I doing wrong?
Well, I think brows are a challenge just because they've, just like with any part of your body, whether it be fashion or, eye looks or things like that, when brows come into the picture, they've gone through stages from, having bushy brows up until like the 1950s, 60s, where they were like pencil thin from like the 1920s. And so just some people living in that area still, keep up with trend. And humans are a creature of habit. So they tend to stick to what they know. And the thin brows are still in there. Some people have done what I call the tadpole brow. And so really it's just, brows are a little bit more.
I'm looking at one right now.
I was like, how do I know that this is directed at me? I'm working on it.
You're welcome. I still will just throw some subtle hints in there because it's you. And so, yeah, brows, I feel like brows are a little more sensitive than the hair on your head. Usually when you shave your head, it grows back. Sometimes when you over tweeze your brows or shave your brows or do something to your brows, they don't grow back as quickly. And if you keep doing them, they grow back even less.
Well, and brows are they're really important. I mean, I never realized. I mean, they always say, the windows are the eyes to the soul. Mm-hmm. But the eyebrows really do frame them. And you can even go without a lot of other makeup. Yeah. If you have the eyebrows, that makes your eyes pop. Mm-hmm. So don't underestimate or don't forget the eyebrows. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely. Like, brows are very important. Like you said, they shape the face. They frame the face. They can actually help to, raise the look of the eye. If you feel like your eye is really, if you look tired or if your eyes are really, I don't want to say the word saggy, but that's pretty much the only word I can kind of give. It'll give you an instant eye lift if you have a brow that's lifted, essentially.
I think it's awesome. Well, there's so many tutorials. If somebody wanted to reach out to you, do you have a Facebook page? Do you have something where somebody can go to maybe ask you some questions?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always open to asking questions. I mean, education is one of my favorite things, especially in the world of makeup. There's not a lot of people out there that still do the education part of actual makeup. So my Facebook, if you just search Peter Asio, ASIO is my last name, you can find me. My Instagram is Mr. Lady MUA. So that's on there. And I think that's pretty much it. My business contact is on my Instagram. If anyone wants to reach out, I'm definitely open to answering all of those. I get my emails directly to my phone, so I respond pretty quickly.
Well, you're in my book, Peter, so I'll be bugging you. And Jayla will too.
Yes.
Well, I usually do.
Yeah. She just comes to my house.
All right. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, this is the Caravan of Glam Presents. We got myself, Danny Ward's here. She's got crackers in her mouth. She can't talk. She's got a switch it down with a can of.
You got cracker priorities, girl.
Cracker on priorities.
Peanut butter crackers.
And then Ecstasy Inferno's here with us also. So we're gonna triple team you. I hope you enjoy that.
If anyone's gonna enjoy a triple teaming, it's gonna be Wendy.
Yeah, girl, I want you to run a train, honey.
So Wendy Ho, you're known as the #1 female drag queen in the country. You've also better known as the foul-mouthed, hilarious singer, comedian, and rapper. How did Wendy Jo become Wendy Ho?
Well, I mean, people ask me this question a lot, and it wasn't like any one thing that happened, it was just kind of a slow development over time that, I leaned more towards, rapping and singing soulfully, and I had a black best friend who that's what we thought was funny, we watched a lot of black comedy, and that's what I've always been drawn to. So me, speaking ghetto and, wanting to rap and sing in that way was always something that, it came out of me admiring people that did that, And because I'm a white girl, it was always perceived as like, oh my God, that's funny. You would never think that white girl who looks like a school teacher is gonna pop off. So, and her name is Wendy Jo Smith, which is like the whitest name in the world, So it's like, so that continued over time, and I got to college and I was a theater kid and singing and trying to use my talents. I was never cast as what I wanted to be cast as, but backstage I would take the opportunity to entertain, and that was kind of where that came from. Is just like a parlor trick of like, I'm a rap for you, I'm a sing for you, and people would laugh. So a friend of mine started calling me Wendy Ho instead of Wendy Jo, because I also, I got around in college, and
no shame.
No shame in the game.
Yeah, girl, no shame in my game.
Where you are today, because you've been performing alongside, your album has been, as far as comedic, Billboard Top 10 comedic recording artist, up there with Sarah Silverman, Louis C.K., The Lonely Island. I love Jennifer Coolidge impersonated you.
You've made it when she's impersonating you.
Jennifer Coolidge, I love her.
Yeah, but she didn't give her credit for a while.
Oh, she didn't?
No.
Did you call her out on that?
Well, you know what? I didn't have to, because when you have a whole brigade of gay men that are your fans, they will call her out for you. So I had a journalist friend of mine in New York, and we tried to get in touch with them and be like, hey, you want to give us some props? Ryan Murphy, how about you say thank you for basically taking something without permission and, emulating it. And nothing ever came of that. So, yeah, a journalist friend of mine called her out on it, and she finally did give props to it. But, it was like one of those things where she had opportunities to do so beforehand, and she didn't. So she kind of lost my respect, because as another female comedian, I love her work. I think she's hysterical. But as another female comedian, if I was on CNN and they said, our favorite character is the writers from Nip Tuck and doesn't give me any kind of mention, that just,
Well, no, that makes me reevaluate my my adoration for Jennifer Coolidge now, too. It is, and it's tough for females.
I understand. She was hired to do a job, and in Hollywood, especially with those types of gigs, everybody's in fear that they're not going to get cast again. Ryan Murphy is a very powerful person. He's not going to use me again if I stand up for Wendy Ho in this. Why would she do that?
Right.
It makes sense to me. But at the same time, though, like as an independent artist who has struggled for everything I've ever gotten, that I don't respect. And I don't respect a lot of what goes on in Hollywood. I'll just say that.
Well, and I know back in the day, I'm talking like Lily Tomlin, Joan Rivers, when they were starting out, it was a tough road for female comedians. Have you experienced any of that? As far as...
Yeah, it still is a tough road.
I
think it's now in vogue to be a female comedian, and it's gotten a certain amount of clout now because there are more of them that have come forth. But I still think, when I first started out, and I think still today, it's very much a boys' club. When you look at the lineup of comedy shows, go and look at the lineup of your local improv tonight. And I will guarantee you that for the most part, for the next weekend, it will be 85% male on that lineup. And that's just the facts, So, I mean, I was not, I did not feel welcome in that environment. I did not feel fostered. I did not feel like, let's help her. It's a very cutthroat business, and it's a very, it's a male-dominated business, just as drag is as well. But, you're dealing with a different type of male, and that energy I just never really jived with it. So that's what I'll say about it,
Who have been your comedic inspirations?
Oh, gosh. Well, I mean, I have always loved, I love Monique when she was doing comedy. I thought she was so funny. All those girls, on the Queens of Comedy. I loved Bernie Mac was huge. Richard Pryor, it goes back, to that. As far as women go, I have loved Margaret Cho for a long time. I think
Yes.
How can you not?
Really,
I know. How can you not love her?
Yeah, no, she's wonderful. And she's somebody who, has really been a good friend. We haven't quite made it around to, working with one another, but, I know she wants to, and I know I want to. We just, when you're doing this, you have to prioritize things. So, her definitely, I love Lily Tomlin is definitely up there.
You were in New York City for 9 years, correct? Who were some of your favorite entertainers you got to work with up there?
Oh, in New York?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't really, it was very much starting out. So if I name these names, they're not going to mean anything to you. You know what I mean?
How about some of the drag?
Well, I mean, actually, that's not true. Bianca Del Rio, definitely. Her and I used to work together tons. I worked with Sweetie a lot. She was in New York City. Bunny, of course, was around. I didn't get to work with her a lot at the time. I've gotten to work with her more since then. But yeah, now there's a whole new crop of New York queens that are there. But, I worked a lot solo in New York. I did my shows. I did, and I ran with comedians that, at that time I was still working the comedy club, kind of alt room circuit, Becky Donahue, Alan Patty. These are names that, might not mean anything to you guys, you know what I mean? But they were who I ran with.
More with Wendy Ho when we return, right here on the Caravan of Glam Presents on Wild Planet Radio.
Hi, this is Tammy Brown with an IE, and you're listening to Caravan of Glam Presents Wild Planet Radio. That's right, Wild Planet Radio. Streaming at wildplanetradio.com.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is the Caravan of Glam Presents, and we've been talking with the #1 female drag queen in the country, better known as the foul-mouthed, hilarious singer, comedian, and rapper, Miss Wendy Ho.
So, when you were in San Francisco, I think we share something in common, which was one of the first shows I ever did was the Monster Show, correct?
Yes.
That was your gateway into San Francisco too, right? With Cookie Dough?
Well, no, that's not really true. That's more kind of folklore.
Okay.
Cookie was she was one of the first people that put me on stage for sure. But actually, my very first show in San Francisco was Tranny Shack.
Oh, okay.
With Teclina.
Cool.
But I mean, it's the same thing. They all ran in the same circle. But yeah, I guess my first paid gig in San Francisco, if you can even call it that, was with Cookie. Because you know how they pay in San Francisco. They're like, here's $35.
Right. It's even worse in Portland sometimes.
Plane ticket one way. Oh my God, awful.
You had mentioned that a lot of your inspiration came from kind of running with your friends of color and performing, and kind of that is when you even listed your comedic inspirations. Most of them are color. Do you find as a white girl that people tend to feel like maybe their toes are stepped on, or do people ever accuse you of appropriating or being out of line, being someone who is white, doing a lot of kind of the, I'm ghetto girl and I'm this and I'm that? Do you find that people find that problematic, or do you find that it's well received?
Well, it's interesting. This discussion came up maybe a couple of times when I first started, and actually in a San Francisco show, but it was never from a person of color. It was always some white privileged blogger person who was like, wanted to throw it on that. And I will say that I don't think I've ever been accused by a person of color that what I've been doing is offensive. If anything, I've played with Black audiences where I was like, this could go either way.
Right.
And they loved it. Now, does that mean that every Black audience is going to love it? No.
Sure, everybody has their thing.
There are people that sit in the audience sometimes that are like, what is this doing?
I mean, we all have those moments.
I have that moment every show
right?
at some point.
Like there's always someone.
Yeah, that's art, but I did have a run-in a few months ago with a club in Indiana that, it just seems to me that this cultural appropriation discussion has become something that is in vogue, and it makes a person look smart if they call it out. So I find that, sometimes these towns mostly fall under a white privilege umbrella, are the ones that will try to call it out, if only to look like a smart person, not because that's how they really feel or because they're actually doing anything within the Black Lives Matter movement or anything like that.
It's easy to be kind of that armchair. I have all the information and well,
it's an easy, and I think it's an easy scapegoat. I mean, I do. The whole discussion of cultural appropriation, of course it has its place. Should people be doing blackface? No, they absolutely shouldn't. Is that what I consider what I do? No, absolutely not.
Well, you're not darkening your skin or trying to portray yourself as someone who is Black.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't understand why what I do is any different than what Adele or Amy Winehouse does. They sound like sisters to me when they sing, but they have an English accent when they speak. So,
right. I mean, they white.
Yeah, they white.
Portland is, Portland is a city that's definitely, more white than Black. And I think that people do get a little more sensitive. But what I have found as someone who is queer and of color here in this city is it's usually the white people that will tell me how I should be behaving or how I shouldn't be behaving. And it's interesting.
Right.
But that's Portland, and I'm aware of that's Portland, and I moved to Vancouver.
There you go.
But I watched your videos and got to see how hilarious you are, and so I feel so honored to be part of the Caravan Radio show this evening so I could chat with you.
Oh, me too, girl. And I mean, and isn't that funny how you cross a border and that those discussions just don't take place anymore? It's just I don't understand, why we still live in a day and age where, I mean, things are so racially charged here in America.
Right. You sneezed. And oh my gosh, you're a racist.
And we live in a melting pot, where we've shared all cultures. I had a joke with a friend of mine where I was like, I would really love to just, one day go out and put police uniforms on and be the appropriation police. And anytime anybody is doing something that's outside of their culture that they were born in, to just be like, you going to jail. You put that burrito down. You can't eat that and are Mexican.
Put that burrito down.
Put that burrito down.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Put that piece of sushi down.
It's just I thought we were sharing cultures. Isn't that the point of America? We're all from some other culture. We brought it here and we share it with one another. So that's my take.
So what is next for Wendy Ho? What do we have, a tour coming up? What's on your schedule?
It's crazy. It's always just kind of, I'm still in survival mode. So it's always just okay, I'm focusing, kind of one thing at a time. Right now, I'm home. And I am starting to work on a couple of new video projects, actually with Tammy Brown. Yeah, so I'm going to work on some video projects, some new songs that I've been working on, and see what kind of happens with that. And then the touring thing, that is always there. I usually tour, or just go to different places once or twice a month. Next month, I'm going to be in the New Hampshire area, Boston area. So I'll be there in August, and then I'm going to Austin Pride at the end of August. Yeah, the touring thing is always happening. And and then from there, I'm still doing my own podcast, working the Southern California area.
Is there any comedian, any type of project that you're looking forward to, like a dream project?
I'm working with a girlfriend of mine on something that, I can't really talk about because...
We won't tell.
Yeah, no, I can't. Really can't. But yeah, we're partnering up, and it will be a departure from just like straight up Wendy Ho stuff. So I'll just say that it's comedic and sketch based, but it's not. We're very much kind of in the early stages, and being that we both are touring comedic acts, it's touch and go. It could take a while to develop.
Where can we follow you at, Wendy? Where would you like us to go?
You can go to wendyexperience.com for all your Wendy Ho needs.
Oh my God. Yes. Give it up for Miss Wendy Ho, my girl.
When's she coming to Portland?
Thank you guys.
I don't know. She's
fun.
I know we've tried to get her here a few times and it's like fell through.
Come to Portland.
We're trying. We need to get you to Portland again.
I know. Well, now that Tammy's up there, I think that there's a better chance of that happening. I just have been needing to link up with the right venue and the right situation. But I think, Portland is definitely ready for a Ho House.
I fully agree. Something like Blow Pony or Club Kai Kai would love me.
Yeah.
They would love some Wendy Ho experience.
Yeah, well, hook me up, girl. Let me know. I'm going to be up in Oakland in September, so that is a hop, skip, and a jump, you know?
We'll have to send some messages out.
We got a place for you to stay.
Right.
We got room.
All right, girl.
I got a hostel I can put you up in.
I got an actual house.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk to you later, girl.
There's a getting off the couch fee, so. Bye.
Bye, Wendy.
All right, it's time for your weekend cocktail wrap-up. This week's cocktail is the Pomegranate Cosmo. You're going to need 2 parts lemon vodka, 1 part triple sec, juice of half of a lemon, 1 part pomegranate juice, a lime wedge, and some pomegranate kernels. You're going to take the lemon vodka, the triple sec, combine it with the pomegranate juice, add the lime juice, pour it over the pomegranate kernels with the lime wedge, and then we have our mocktail of the week, which is the coconut cucumber lime and mint cooler. You're gonna take 4 cups of coconut water, 2 cucumbers sliced very thinly, a half a cup of lime juice, a 1/4 cup of sugar, and then a 1/4 cup of chopped mint leaves. You're gonna combine everything together, muddle it, and then enjoy it over some ice. There's your weekend drink. Have a cocktail on us, but you buying it.
That does it for us today on the Caravan of GLAM Presents. We are done.
We're done entertaining you.
The show. It's kind of sad.
I don't want to go home yet.
No. Danny will be back. We're going to bring her back. We adopted her. She knows that.
Radio sister.
She is. So you got me, Dawn Newton.
J Boo.
And Danny Ward.
Danny Ward, our special co-host.
With an IE.
That's
an IE.
All right. Have a good evening, everyone. And we will talk again
soon.
Yes, we will.
Peace out.
Be kind.
Rewind.
Make smart choices.
Strap it on.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wrap it up.
Smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh, no.
All right. We're out.